Hey,
hey,
look
and we're
at
on
this.
time. Look at that. No
This
waiting
is
for this guy,
this never happened before.
right? And I have a light. It might not be
I
the
was gonna
greatest light,
say you are bright. You
but
might even want to turn it down a bit.
oh yeah.
You might burn.
Oh wow, my ginger skin loves the burn.
I'm telling you,
How's
it's
that?
just much better. Yeah.
Is it? I got like the creamness going on now in the background. So
Well, it is pretty. It is pretty slick. I'm glad to see you more illuminated. We might be even able to bring it down later. Although, depending on what kind of camera you're using, it might keep on compensating and making it bright because it thinks
Gotcha.
it needs to be bright. We might need to.
it's
get you
just
set
it's
up.
just from my Mac. So whatever
That's
camera's
Mac
on
light.
my Mac.
That's usually a very magical light or a camera,
Yeah.
I should say.
So-
They're pretty awesome. What's going on, brother? How was your day?
Busy as usual. It was definitely a work day for me. So yeah, it was busy. Yeah.
I'm wearing my lounge shirt today. I want to be
I like
a little
it.
more loungy. I don't know if
A little more relaxed.
Undone.
No, you should undo more. Let's see the sprouts.
Well, that's what Rizzy was saying. Welcome everyone. This is Ask a Traffic Cop After Dark. My name is Sean Shapiro. I'm a former police officer who talks about traffic safety, traffic law, and police stuff every single day. Boy, I feel like I'm saying it way too fast for After
That's
Dark.
okay.
I got to go a little lower, a little slower, and say that this is After
Low
Dark.
and slow, baby.
This is a show that is all about you and what you need. And with me on camera is Logan Grant, properly illuminated now, and he is a PO sergeant in Brooks, Alberta. Awesome to have you here. I'm really enjoying this regular gig, man.
As
I like
am
it.
I. Yeah.
And last night, I felt like I was leaving you out of the picture. I was on News Talk 1010 with Shane Hewitt. And we were talking about traffic, and it's an interesting discussion. I want to talk about it today. Now that I've already talked about it on the radio for all of Toronto to hear, I'm curious what your take on things will be. It's about having those tickets, those fines. Maybe we talked about it yesterday. I don't know. Talking about fines if they were generated based on the amount of money you make.
Oh
Did we talk about that already?
no. I mean, we
Good,
get
we'll
asked a
talk about
lot from the public as to whether or not we get commission on them, but
If I got commission from tickets written, I would have retired long ago. Because I would
ago.
Because the bazillionaire. Yeah.
yeah.
Creator Steve is here. JT is here. Prana, Steve, Dave G53, McMile Mom's back. Welcome. T Money 69 is here with his, and he's got his user
69.
account, or their user account is the one from what is it where he has the Hawaiian driver's license? What is
Hawaii
that?
5-0? Oh,
No,
McLovin.
That's it. He's got some questions to start it off. Mike Later is here. Mr. Steak, the Steak Man. He's Mr. Beef.
Yeah. Mr.
Yeah.
Beef.
Yes, all Alberta beef at his restaurant. Ryan's here. We got stuff to talk about. Peter popped in. Northern Bear, Pixie, Andrea, Catrazola. I'm gonna mess that up. I hope I got that.
Catrazola. You gotta have the fingers when you're doing
Is
it.
that what it is? Is that the?
You have to. It just helps when you say it.
Well, we're here and we're mispronouncing names left, right, and center. If you've got questions and stuff and things to talk about, drop it in the chat. We are happy to address your traffic and police questions from either a Toronto or an Ontario or Alberta perspective, which is pretty awesome.
Absolutely.
Apparently, I'm getting better with the pronunciation, and Jeff just sent a heart. I should probably go in there and open up on the other one so I can see some of these animations happening. No, I can't move it over here. Come on. I got to turn on the volume so we don't get a loopy-loop. But yeah, working on the names. Adam popped in. Bimmer Daddy. We lots of folks in here. Ox is here. All right, we're going to talk about stuff and things. I was at Costco, not at a regular Costco, not at a Costco that I frequent, but I was at a Costco yesterday, and I ran into like I was going to say half a dozen, which was not. It's a quarter of a dozen. I ran into I don't show pictures of my kids online, but if I did, you would see a picture of an enormous Pikachu stuffy marshmallow. I don't know what these things are called, but they're big, fluffy, pillowy.
Oh yeah. I was there just the other day. I seen those things. Yeah.
You saw them, okay.
Yeah.
So they're on sale, $10 off. My daughter says, "I need it," and proceeds to take it. It was huge, right?
Yeah.
And then we go around the corner, and there is a bear, a purple bear that is 3 times the size for $300. And I have great pictures of her being like carrying
Oh
the bear.
God.
It's bigger than her. It is larger than her. And she says, "Daddy, I need this." And I
Yeah.
said, "Is it your money? $300? I
Yeah.
mean, what?"
For a stuffed animal.
Oh my God.
You
I
bought it,
said
didn't
no.
you?
I did not. I did not. I did break down. I did buy 2 pillows that were on sale. They were what's his name? The new character. They're not new character, but they made Lilo and Stitch.
Oh yeah.
Stitch.
Yeah. Stitch.
And I got 2 pillows, 2 Stitch pillows. And I love Stitch, and they're making a live action Stitch now. Or
I
at
know.
least I've seen previews
Yeah.
of it already. It looks amazing.
Looks good.
Looks way better than Snow White, which was trash.
I was gonna say, hopefully it's better than Snow White because, oh my God.
I saw a video today on TikTok, and forgive us as we get ramped up to talk about traffic. We gotta get into the traffic telling mood. But I heard from this. I heard like was talking to a buddy of mine. I saw this video that said that actress who played Snow White has been barred from her press event. Like she can't.
Because she doesn't hold her tongue. She just says all kinds of weird shit that comes
Stupid
out
crap comes out
all
of
the way
her.
out in the left field. Like
Oh, man.
even when the movie was first coming out, she was like describing the theme of the movie and that
Ugh.
the script from like the 50s was
Oh, yeah, and how
written
bad
at
it
a
was.
different time and how bad it was. I was like, oh my God. People just want to see 7 dwarves and a girl. I mean, that's it. People don't really care about the background. But whatever. It's no different than that song over Christmas they canceled.
Oh my God!
You know,
the one-
you know what I'm talking about? Like, oh, it's cold outside. Oh, better come inside or whatever.
Yes,
they banned
and which is ridiculous. Ridiculous. Okay. I want to address a number of people who are in the room who got questions and stuff. We'll get back onto talking about other crap because there's lots of crap to talk about. Whatever comes across our noggins. Good early morning, Sean and Logan, and all. Hope you all had an amazing day. Brandon is still in Scotland, I imagine, which is where the good morning is coming from.
Yes.
How did the wedding go? Has it happened? Is it completed? Is it finished?
Well,
let's see.
that brings me to my next. Are you drinking anything tonight, Sean? Got your ginger ale?
I don't even have ginger ale because there's nothing cold in the fridge. I have.
Gotcha.
What the heck is that? What is it? Oh, it's green. Like, why is there a brown sticker? But it's.
I thought it was poop.
Actually a green sticker, which is reacting to my chroma key. I'm drinking water.
Well, just for you tonight and for our friend in Scotland, I do have a single malt 12-year Scotch. So, cheers to everyone who is watching, and thanks for joining us.
Well, I would love to partake and have a wobbly pop or something of that nature. Sadly, while I'm not driving, I am doing the no carb thing, which involves a serious reduction in sugar. I don't add sugar or take sugar in it.
Sean,
Now,
it's called YOLO. I hate to say the acronym, but
wasn't it you only live once? There's nothing wrong
right?
about that.
No, right? So,
and FOMO, fear of missing out.
FOMO. Yeah.
I will tell you that I went for lunch, and if you're any of my fine feathered friends who were there today, I went to a luncheon with a number of retired police officers. And we were shooting the poop, and it was so great to see some of these people who I've known for many, many years.
Yeah.
And of course, they've all moved on to the next stage of their life of joy and grass growing and businesses and other jobs. It was really great reconnecting. And what was really neat is how many of them watched the show. And I gave a stack of stickers out to one person there, and he's like, "Oh, I'm giving stickers to everybody." He ran around giving stickers. He was excited. I think we're gonna have some like there are people who want to join the show and shoot the poop with us at night.
I think
call them older, retired,
yes, seasoned,
lots of experience and stories.
Seasoned. I think that's kind of the nice thing about you going on a little bit later at night, right? It's more of the conversation piece, and it's okay that sometimes the conversation goes off a little bit because it's just all about 2 people, 3 people, whatever, sitting, shooting the breeze.
We can have up to 10 people in here.
Yeah, that's a
party.
Imagine all the little bubbles going all the way around. Holy moly!
This would be interesting. I'd have to be a little bubble too, or wouldn't it be fair? Okay, let's see. Let's get into some questions. See what's going on. Michael just so Michael says the song that we were discussing was "Baby It's Cold Outside."
That's it, baby. It's cold outside.
But Michael, who is a rebel, he did not take it off his Christmas playlist, nor should he.
No,
it is an epic story.
Yeah.
It should be part of everyone's Christmas playlist. What else did he say there that I missed? The kind gentleman doesn't want her to freeze out there.
Right? Chivalry is not dead.
Some think it should be. All right, let's see what these comments are. We've got Ryan Bahan just says, or Behan, I think it's Bahan. We're going to go with Bahan. Just had one installed on his truck. However, I know not what he is talking about because I guess the other part of his question got like removed by the automated eye in the sky overlord of TikTok. We've got Sean, how are you, sir? Love your content /vids. That's from Ox. Thanks very much. Appreciate the appreciation. Hey, if you're watching on TikTok, and of course you are, please tap that screen, send likes our way. Please share it with everyone you know. And of course, follow if you don't already follow us. Andrea says, my son just got one. Got what? What are we missing? What is the thing that you got? Now, I saw that T-Money said, is it illegal to dump a coffee out the window? Is it legal to dump drinks out the window? I don't. It's not littering per se. It's a liquid.
So we have a law in Alberta that says you can't deposit any kind of waste onto a highway. So the definition of waste is the key part there. Okay. So
what is it?
Dumping a coffee, I mean, it may or may not fall into it. It's the quantity. Like if you dumped an entire pot of coffee out onto the road, you could.
How many people are traveling with pots of coffee?
You'd be surprised what people are traveling with around here, Sean. But again, at face value, is one of those things. You dump a coffee out, nobody's going to probably care too much about it. But yeah, you could be stopped for it and be like, hey.
I cannot imagine. I cannot. Yeah. However, I'm sure someone could.
I've never done it.
Lay the charge.
Just saying. And I've never heard of someone doing it. But there's pretty much a law for just about everything when you dive into it.
And the fact is, any law that's on the books is likely a result of someone doing some dumb stuff on the road that they had to say, you know what? We thought it was common sense, but there's nothing common about common sense. So we're going to write this one down. We're going to make a new one just for you. And that's sort of what happened with the folks that were, doing the, what was it called? The takeover crap. Really unimpressive.
Well, I mean, you look at Ottawa. I mean, I know this is just a bylaw, not really traffic related, but it's still against the law to eat ice cream on Bank Street on Sunday. So
still,
I'm pretty sure they still have it on the books. So
there's stuff on Yonge Street about herding cattle on Sundays.
Yeah,
there's all sorts of stuff. Northern Bear 67 says, witnessed a driver after following for 15 minutes committing 5 traffic violations. Absolutely insane. It does not take me long to see wrongs on the road. Those who are in the what is it, the valley of wrong? It's
to
everywhere.
Quote Mr.
I gotta
Frank.
borrow that from Frank. Frank's awesome.
Yeah.
Frank's got good stuff, he says. What do we got here? Brandon says, in the UK, you have to pay $100 fine per 3 points added to your license unless you're given the option to do a speed awareness course. Well, that's interesting. Do you think that education should be an option to avoid getting fines? See, because education is good, but I mean, how many people just say, yeah, screw it, I'm paying $100?
Oh yeah, 100%. We have a program here in Alberta, and I think you guys might have something similar where you can take a course, an online course through AMA, Alberta. I should probably know, but I can't remember. Anyhow, I think it's Alberta Motor Association, and you can get up to 3 points back off of your license if you complete this safe driver's course. So, but
that sounds interesting. I hate to do this, but T-Money, I gotta mute you for 5 minutes because you're spamming the chat, and I'm sure nobody wants to see. I don't know what that flag is or what that a group of colors. I don't know if you can't see the TikTok feed.
No, I can't.
But there's just a consistent orange and black and white, and can't make it out. But maybe somebody else knows what that was. Okay, Brandon also says, wedding went well, cooked beef, Wellington, and lobsters today. I'm touring Glengoyne Distillery. Glengoyne?
Yep.
Glengoyne?
Yep.
I'm mispronouncing
That's a Scotch distillery.
Well, that sounds like a tour worth having.
Yeah. If I could only turn my camera around, I am definitely a Scotch connoisseur.
Oh,
I love
are
me.
you? Okay.
Yeah.
I am not.
Yeah.
I'm not. I do like Guinness. That's of the. It's not Scottish. It's Irish. But
yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Mubin Papal says, Now, did I get that right? I don't know. Is it?
It sounded good. I mean,
I bought it. I convinced myself. They got a ticket for going 61 on a 50 at 2 a.m. from a speed camera. Any chance I can win that in court? So you got to take. Were you doing 51 in a or 60?
61,
Were you doing 61
yep.
on a 50? Because if you were doing it, you kind of deserve the ticket for it, right? I mean, it's such a. First of all, there's no demerit points. Secondly, it's a cash thing, which sucks because it's double fine in a community safety zone. The fact that it was 2 a.m. is not a defense.
Doesn't negate it.
No, if you're speeding, right? Like the speed limit doesn't change unless the sign says it changes. Sometimes you're in a school zone and when flashing, it's this speed. When not flashing, it's that speed. But what are you going to use as defense? I was there, but nobody was around except for the camera. Gosh darn it! Like, there's no defense that I'm aware of. And if you're going to try and use some really convoluted defense, save it for something that matters. 11 kilometers over ain't it?
And with no points because it's going to the RO, just take it on the chin.
I think so.
Own your shit.
I think so. I think that it's just a matter of learn to slow down. And so many people are texting in or messaging in saying that, and I say texting it because Jerry Agar, by the way, I'm on with Jerry Agar tomorrow morning on Newstalk 1010 again. They're going to come into the live stream at 10 a.m. and then we'll be on the radio and they'll be in the stream and it's going to be all cool and stuff. But the deal is that people call in and write into his show and say, well, it's not right. It's not okay. There's nobody there. The school's out. There shouldn't be summertime. There shouldn't be school zone speeds. And what I was originally going to say is that they're idle. The idle of the car keeps them going above the posted speed limit. To which I say, get your car fixed because that's not right.
Yeah,
if your idle takes you over 30 kilometers an hour, there is something not going on.
Yeah,
you got to fix it. It's a fix it situation. Oshawa Emergency Photography joined and came in with a, hi, Sean. Just got my G1, started driving today. If I'm a new driver and driving slow on the road with my dad, should I have any stickers so people know I'll be moving slow? A great idea. And I think that I could make you a sticker like that. I have a vinyl cutter. I make stickers. I put them on Etsy. And I could probably...
Maybe that's your new thing.
No,
you can make stickers for G1.
But I think the G1, I'm a new driver, and make it a humorous sticker might actually, if they get a chuckle, they won't hate you. But the deal is you drive your drive, and I would stay off main roads till you get comfortable. But drive your drive and stay to the right, and let the people who are bullies just move along.
And fun fact on that though, BC, it's law that if you're a new driver, you have to have an N on the back of your car, which is pretty cool. We recommend it here. You can get stickers from the province and whatnot. I'm pretty sure still that you can put like new driver in the back window. But yeah, BC, it's a great idea. It's got to be on there. Yeah.
I'm thinking like something that would be obnoxious and say like, get off my butt. I'm a new driver. Give me a break. Like something a little more in your face.
Yeah.
But again, Oshawa, congrats. It's a big step to become a driver. Yeah. And I remember the day I turned 16, I became a driver.
You get that sense of freedom in you. It's great.
I could never. I don't know what I would do without a driver's license. I'm just that completely dependent on having my own wheels. I don't even want to like be a passenger in anyone's car today. Like I hate not having my own vehicle there. I can get away with parking in a parking lot, taking a train, but I need to be able to return to I need the freedom to know that I can leave whenever I want to.
And you have the control.
That's
at the end of the day. Let's be honest, right?
I might be a control freak.
Just a little bit.
Mike says you have inspired a new name for me, Mr. Steak. I think we need to make you a T-shirt, maybe a challenge coin, at very least some decals. I become you've seen the stickers. Have you seen the stickers? I got to send you a care package, man. The stickers that
I sent you a care package.
You did.
Just saying.
This is a transparent sticker, and it's the.
I like that. Yeah.
I like it a lot. It is a sticker that I had made. You can get the Sticker Mule is one company, and stickers for you sticker. I don't remember what the company I used was. They're in Toronto, and I had it done in like 2 days, so I can go to the auto show and give them out to everybody.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Quick turnaround. They must know you.
I like it. No, but you need a Mr. Steak, and then you can get kids at your. Maybe we create a Mr. Steak from AI. So apparently, ChatGPT has gone and upgraded a bit, and now they are even more amazing.
Could they
Please, here,
get any more amazing?
it's so amazing. Please create a logo or superhero character. It's autocorrecting. Named Mr. Steak. Mike, I'm sending this to you. Mr. Steak. And I don't know why it didn't listen to me. Mr. Steak. He's Alberta beef and proud to save the day in the most tasty way.
One ribeye at a time.
Let's see what it says. Let's see what it does. I ask this stuff, like I have the weirdest conversations. I actually was creating some documents, and I basically had ChatGPT be the third person in the conversation with somebody else in the room. And I kept on saying, ChatGPT, like you're listening, take notes, and if I call on you, like weigh in. And then I said, ChatGPT, it sounds weird to call you ChatGPT. Let's call you Jeff. Jeff's here, ready to go.
Oh my God.
I
Isn't that great? Yeah. It's scary amazing, but it's amazing.
I'm so scared at this. Oh, it's rendering. Hold on. Like it's rendering.
Oh, but I'm seeing
Yeah. It's
the head is the steak.
Oh my God. Look at this.
Oh
It's
God,
Mr.
look at that.
Steak. It's coming. Okay, this is me. Okay, we got a Kale who just popped in with greetings and salutations. Oh, this is
A Kale
so good.
Draconis. Boy, I haven't heard from him.
He's using my family crest.
That's pretty neat. Look at that. Mr. Steak.
Oh, come on. This is awesome. I'd wear a shirt with that.
Yep.
Yes.
Get that put on one of your cowhide patches there you got on your head.
I can laser engrave that and put it on a hat. Sure. Cherry Pie followed the host. Thanks for the follow. Okay, let's get back into actually talking traffic. But Mike, I'm sending you that logo. I expect to see you. I don't know where you're going to put it, but I expect to see it somewhere. Maybe we'll make you a couple hundred stickers and send them your way. Ox says, question, can a security guard direct traffic on a city street, or does it have to be a police officer? It actually requires training and certification. Like, for instance, in Ontario, you need to be a special constable to direct traffic. Now, in emergencies, in a situation where something is happening and you got to... You're at Oscars? I missed that. Okay, I missed steak and salad. Yeah, you have responsibility to have lawful authority to direct traffic is one thing. But if you're just at a collision scene and you're directing people through, you have no authority, but you're doing it for safety, and no one would likely give you a hard time. But if you got hit by a car, you'd be in big trouble. For you, because you got hit by a car. That would be no bueno. So generally speaking, if you're directing traffic on private property where you are the representative of the property owner, then directing traffic is legitimate. But on city streets, you should not be. And what's the scenario where you're directing traffic? Let me know. I'm curious. Mike later says Mr. Steak is like an equivalent to Mr. Pink or Mr. Black. If you know, you know. You know what movie he's referencing? Is that Fight Club or is that something else?
Oh, I don't know.
No, it's something else.
Pink Panther.
No, it's not. It's not Pink Panther. Although I did like, I loved Inspector Clouseau.
Right.
Was looking because the Pink Panther. Does anyone know what the Pink Panther is? Those of us who are old enough to remember,
It was a great cartoon.
The original. Well, but it wasn't a cartoon. It was a full on movie, and it was Inspector Jacques Clouseau, and he was. In search of the Pink Panther, and I don't know, I made him a French German there, but the Pink Panther is a diamond.
Almost.
It was a diamond.
Yeah.
Papa Uniform November says most bogus use of taxpayer money, and jokes on Papa Uniform November.
We're off.
We're not.
We're not.
I'm really off. Like,
Yeah,
I'm so far off. I ain't never coming back. I don't work for the
Yeah.
police service, so. If you read and zoom in, it says former police officer. Mind you, Logan is still a member of an enforcement service and is doing this on his own time. So big go away, don't come back another day to Mr. Papa. Now, Ox says he's from Ajax area, but in Montreal tonight for work. Montreal is a wonderful place
Beautiful
to visit.
city. Yeah.
I don't,
The
at
most
least
English
the old
speaking
city.
place in Quebec.
I think it's the only English speaking place in Quebec.
Yeah. I've had some pretty good times in Montreal.
It's a wonderful place. Okay, we got the big challenge, and then we've got all that icon, which I can't make out what that. I don't know what it was. Okay, we talked about this. Can a commercial vehicle enforcement officer stop a civilian vehicle for a violation? Do you have a equivalent to our Ministry of Transportation officer thing by you in Alberta?
Probably about 4 or 5 years ago, we had CVE, Commercial Vehicle Enforcement, and then they ended up integrating into our Alberta Sheriff's Department.
Okay,
but we still do. They're just under one big branch. And when they were CVE specific, they could, in the event of something egregious happening, and egregious simply could be just distracted driving or something, they could and charge a civilian vehicle. Or as long as the plate was commercial, even if it was on, I don't know, a Chevy Equinox, if it was a commercial plate on it of any kind, they could stop. So,
well, in Ontario, they can stop any motor vehicle. They absolutely have the authority, but it is their policy, generally speaking, to stick to commercial motor vehicles.
Yeah.
And so they have the authority, and in certain situations, they'll actually utilize it, but they don't generally. We got here Akila acknowledging Logan. He says, hi, Logan. He sees that Michael is also here, which is good. Michael, did you get a new phone? I think you said you were ordering one. He's on YouTube today, but he is not in the regular chats, like not on our Telegram group. Did you know we have a Telegram group? Did I tell everybody about the Telegram group? Telegram.trafficcop.ca. Telegram.trafficcop.ca will take you to the Telegram group that you can join. And there's like 20 of us that chat and discuss.
Oh, wow.
And I drop videos in there, not like content videos, but videos just talking to the people in the unit. In the unit, we're like our own little unit. Let's see here. What options can we take when this happens? Question mark. What happens?
Define
I don't
this.
know. I don't know if these things are being too heavily
moderated
by the automation of AI-driven stuff. But yeah, let me know what you're talking about, because I do want to answer your questions. If you can't, for whatever reason, ask the question, you can go to trafficcop.ca and hit send me a message, and it'll send me a message by email, or you can DM me. I try and answer everybody as much and as often as possible. Sometimes that's a very busy day. I've had hundreds of comments. Like that video that I put up is about the G1 course that I'm doing. Almost 200,000 views now.
Oh, wow.
It's been shared almost
That's
4,000
good.
times. It's great. It's great. The situation, however, is that it takes a ton of time, and then people go, like people being my children, say, "Why are you looking at your phone? Look at me." It's a competition for daddy's attention. But I'm constantly and forever trying to keep up with the comments coming in, because it can be quite busy. By the way, if you're watching and you don't already follow me, please do. Also, follow me on YouTube. I've just updated the website with a place marker for anyone who's looking to get their G1 or just refresh their skills and abilities by way of the contents of this magical book. I'm reading it, and I gotta tell you that the introduction, the first 25 pages are so boring, but I am getting through it, and I'm reading it, and I'm looking forward to the next section, which actually talks about stuff and things I care about, and not, a G1 is a G1 and a G2, and it's just an F class and a G class, and it's just if you had a spoon, you'd dig your own eyes out. Fortunately, stay away from all silverware while I'm reading that book. Let's see here. What happens to the vehicles that were reported stolen but then found? Well, depends. Depends on the time frame in which they are located. Generally speaking, if it is found quickly before it is, insurance has decided to pay out on it, well, then it's returned to the owner, which is sometimes not a good thing, because the bad folk tend to do really nasty things inside and outside. Like if it's not being used if they're not stealing it to sell it and send it overseas where they keep it pristine, they use it as a drug car for hauling stuff or for robbing other people. Like they smoke in it, they drink in it, they smell bad in it. It's just you don't want that car afterwards. It's a total violation of your So if it's collected after your insurance company has paid out on it, well, the insurance company owns it, and they may choose to scrap it. They may choose to keep it and refurbish. Like it's up to them. It belongs to them.
We had a truck stolen here a while back, and just a good example of that. Within 72 hours, they found the vehicle, but they found it with the guy OD'd in it.
Oh, having a dead guy in your truck is like
Right,
really,
and
really
then they get the
adds to
truck
the
back, and they're
resale
like,
value.
"Well, I don't really want this truck back," but
That's,
so
yeah, it's- yeah.
so yeah, you will get it back.
And you don't always want it. Saskatchewan new drivers have to have a large learner's driver in the back window. That's from Cherry Pie. That's amazing. I think it's a great plan. It just makes it very open. I think that if you're a crappy driver, you should also have a placard. I'm
Shit
not
driver.
even kidding. If you are
Yeah.
a crappy driver and you have more than 3 points, we should shame you by forcing you to have a big old sticker. Like 6 points, you suck. I suck as a
Yeah.
driver. Stay away. Keep your distance. Whatever the case may be.
I
But
will
it's a
increase your
warning to all.
insurance premiums.
J. Kier NS. J. Kier, long time no see. How you doing? Hello. Does an officer need a warrant to access a car's black box after a collision? You know what? I think they need to. Yeah.
Yes.
I know that we have access to equipment to do it. I don't know if a production orders are generally when it's like your cell phone records and stuff like that. I don't know if it needs it. I don't think that we do. You know, you've had a vehicle that's involved in a collision. We've seized the vehicle. I don't think we need access, and it depends on. I think it would also depend on. I don't know. It's been long enough that since I've done anything related to that to not actually have an answer, and I don't know. But
So I just recently went on in Alberta. I just recently went on my traffic collision investigator level 2 course, and one of the things that they talked about was accessing the black box in the event of a serious collision, because they don't just access the black box for minor collisions, right? And I've heard both ways, right? Depending on the type of collision it is, if there's consent, they'll do it. If it's a criminal, if there's a major criminal investigation going on while involving the collision, they will get a warrant to access that information, so everything's done clean.
And warrants aren't hard to get.
No.
All it is a document that explains why we need the information or access to it, and why it's pertinent to the case, and that it's taken to a justice of the peace. Either it's a quick discussion, your worship, this is why we need it, and they go, yeah, you go, and it's done.
Yeah,
so
it's pretty simple.
Whether it's needed or not, it's irrelevant, really, because we're going to do which way we have to do it. But it's a cool question. Now I'm dying to know, but I can't call anybody. That's the problem with 9 p.m. I can text everyone.
Sorry, Sean.
I'm just curious. But at 9 a.m. at the 10 o'clock show, I can text someone who's working. Now people are like, "Don't talk to me. I have to get up at 4 a.m." Cherry Pie wants to know why I retired from the police service, and Mike later says, "Very cool sticker. He loves it." But as to why I retired, it was for family reasons. I was needed at home more, and it made less sense to run back and forth all day long. Let's see here. Steven says, "Hi Sean, how's your retirement going?" It's less retirement. I think I'm busier than I've ever been, but I am enjoying every second of it. What's the amount on a tint ticket? What's the amount? How much do you get? How do you? In Alberta,
$81 fine.
81.
Yeah,
I'm shocked because they're so cheap.
I know. That's probably why it's cheap, because everybody has them.
Wow, 81.
Yeah,
now,
$81.
Can you summons them if it's a multiple offender, if they keep on doing the same thing? Or
yeah. But I mean, if we were going to go by means of summons, but by that point, we've probably already seized the plate and the registration and taken the car off the road until the work has been done. But yeah,
I like the plate seizing. I mean, for us, plate seizing would be if it's an unsafe motor vehicle, and that would be like the first time I see it. If it's so dark that it's like either peeled it out of the windows now, or I'm taking the plates and you're getting towed.
Yeah,
but you're still being charged for unsafe motor vehicle.
Well, that's what a lot of people don't understand. That it is an unsafe motor vehicle, and they'll argue
they don't understand. They don't get
through the teeth, but they just Especially like where we are, there's so many rural areas that don't have a lot of artificial lighting, right? And you try and look out that window, you can't see pedestrians. You can't, it's brutal.
It is.
I've had people tell me I have to put my window down at night so I can see.
Yes.
Well, so then why is it on there? Yeah.
Those are the honest people, because the vast majority of people go in the video that I have on my channel. They're like, "That's cheap tint. That's not good quality tint. If you had good quality tint, you'd see perfectly." And I'm like, "That's baloney, because what kind of tint do you have?" They go, "It's 5%. And I'm like, well, that means that 95% of the light is blocked. That means that 95% of the information ain't getting into your eyes, because I explain how the optical nerve and the light and bouncing.
Yep.
And they're like, no, it's just cheap tint. I'm like, no, like, what don't you get?
You
And
can't
then
fix
occasionally
stupid.
they'll say, but I can't back up and turn left or right. You know, like,
Exactly. It's like,
give me a
there
break.
it is.
Give me a break.
Yeah.
Brandon accuses me of lying. He says, lies. Sean is retired to join the Avengers. You know what? I remember. Do you remember Street Hawk? Street Hawk, not Black Hawk. Street Hawk. It's an old 80s TV show.
Yeah.
And basically, Copper gets into a crash, messes up his leg, and they go and recruit him. Does anybody know this show? They go and recruit him to ride a super futuristic motorcycle with a vast technology from the future. Yeah, they put him into this. They basically do surgery that no one can do, and they fix his leg. But then, because he's the super motorcycle rider, they make him wear a leg brace and walk with a cane to stay on light duties. He becomes a media officer. Oh my God, it's about me. This is a show about me. He became a media officer. I just made that connection now. How did I not realize? Anyway, he goes off to fight crime on his motorcycle.
We all just witnessed you have a moment.
I had a moment. It's totally me. So let's see here. Okay. What we got here? Michael says it was better to have Sean than 5 or even 50 cops answering one phone, call or email at a time. Sean can give you tint or underglow answers to 50 viewers. Yeah, that was the big thing. Is the number of people we reach when we do these episodes. Well, not just these, any episode.
Yeah.
When I was with the police, we used to get like 16,000 people through a day. Now we have slightly smaller numbers, but we were having the much more intimate, long conversations. Intimate traffic question conversations don't go
Debatable.
Debatable. Is it true that back windows and rear windshield have permitted any level of tint? Depends on the province.
Yeah.
In Ontario, I think in Alberta, based on things you've said before, the rear windows, rear passenger and rear window can be as dark as you want. For
Pretty much,
Ontario,
yeah.
there is a caveat. You must have 2 side mirrors in order to be able to block your rear mirror. So if you had a blacked out or obstructed rear windshield, or is it called a windshield? Rear window? Then you need to have a clear view to the rear of the vehicle by way of your mirrors.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'd be reliant on also your rear view mirror, which is attached to your windshield.
Yeah.
But think about big trucks. The big trucks that you drive, the cube trucks, vans, they don't even have windows in the back of the vehicle. So
Yeah.
I think it was Missouri. I looked up, and they like SUVs can black them out, but sedans can't. And I don't understand the double standard.
That's an odd. Yeah, it's odd. Even just like some states, you can't pull someone over for not wearing their seatbelt, but if you pull them over for another violation,
is it Pennsylvania?
Sounds like Arizona is
Really?
also the same.
Secondary offenses and stuff. I don't
Yeah,
get that
I'm
stuff.
like, what is that?
Oh, okay. I see. Jay has different names depending on the platform he's on. Now I understand. Okay. Big Block Chev says hello all, and he said it a little while ago, but I'm a little behind reading the messages.
Hello.
Hello. Norman John is talking about Battlestar Galactica, who says that they had awesome bikes. I'm glad that we're on Battlestar Galactica and not the regular conversation that we have when you're on. Okay. Can a cop with no uniform and in a personal car give a ticket for being on the phone? That's from Chris Wright. Interesting. Here's the deal. Police officers are police officers 24/7, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Yeah.
They have the authority of a police officer all the time. If they were to tin you, show you a badge and say pull over, that would be a lawful direction of a police officer, regardless if they're in uniform, on duty, off duty, in a personal vehicle or otherwise. Is it a risky situation because they may be unarmed? Yes, it is. But can they do it? Absolutely. In fact, they don't even have to pull you over. They can just look in your window and identify you by way of your, like, looking at you and say, I'll go check up on you later. They don't have to tell you. They can just knock on your door when they're on duty and say, I observed you driving the car. And they can do it by a number of ways. They can also, Team Money is now saying goodbye. He went from being, now he's not only he's gone, he's muted and he's banned.
Jeez.
If you only saw what he wrote, he got pink eye from eating something on someone, and it was just wrong.
Oh,
It was a very
okay.
wrong statement, and he said it 100 times. Okay, so yes, the answer is yes. We can do that. And I've gone to serve tickets to people. Like one guy passed a police officer. Upon passing, threw his coffee out the window, and it landed across her front windshield. And she was on her way to work, and she had a dash camera. And then I went to his house and I served him.
Beauty.
It was good. Mr. Black and Mr. Pink is from Reservoir Dogs. Thank you. I don't know why I thought it was something else, but that is it. Mike saves the day because he's super Mr. Steak. Okay. Unknown says Chris Wright no. Unknown YO is incorrect then because they said no, you cannot write the ticket. Yes, you can. Okay. Hike City or Hikes City or Hike Skitty. I don't know where you put the space changes everything. Question: if someone is caught drinking and driving, do they go to traffic services or the local division? In the city of Toronto, we have a centralized traffic unit, traffic services, and if they are in close proximity, they go there. They go to the closest place that has a breath tech working. That could be a divisional outpost because we do have traffic services people who go and have equipment in their car, or they set up at the beginning of shift at a particular location, and they'll take them there. So it's the closest breath tech, not specifically one place or another. But it's a great question, and it all depends. Sometimes there aren't enough staff to be out there, and then they have to go to another one. But generally, all the units that have a cell block, like an actively used cell block, they're the ones that usually have it. Let's see here. Ox sent a very long explanation of the question. I look forward to reading it. Central Alberta rail fan. Can you have 3R, a 3R person? I think you mean third. Are you saying third? Can you have a 3-person if the second person sits in the passenger seat, first person has a learners? So in Ontario, I can tell you that's not allowed. If you're talking about like a pickup truck where there's 3, it's a bench seat with 3 across. In Ontario, the only person who can be in the front seat with you is the supervising driver. How does it work in Alberta?
No different. So if you have a class 7 here in Alberta, the person sitting directly next to you must have a valid class 5 and be of the age of 18 years or older. So we do things a little bit different here with our supervisors. You guys, I think you have to have a 5-year minimum on your full 4-year minimum on your full.
Actually, it starts when they're a learner. So there's 3 stages: G1, G2, and full. The time of experience that is accepted towards being a supervising driver starts at G2, so, presuming there's no suspensions to interrupt it. So
for us, G2, it's 18 years of age with a full class 5, and then as long as they're sitting next to you, directly next to you. Now, in a single cab truck with 3 people in it, we wouldn't necessarily count the person sitting in the middle. We would probably just count the person in the passenger seat, like the farthest seat to the door. But it doesn't really happen that often out here that's the case. But there's no significant section that would speak to what type of vehicle you're in based on what type of supervisor you are, other than to say you have to be in the front seat.
And for us, it's very much they have to be in the front passenger seat, and nobody else can be in the front. For us, So it depends where you is, and you're in Alberta, so what he said. Let's see here. There's types of tint that you can see clearly through the inside, but outside you cannot, being one way, like mirror glass. So in Ontario, even if the light transmitted light is legal for certification, but we can't see in, it's a different charge under the Highway Traffic Act, and that is specifically called obscure interior of motor vehicle with color or reflective tint. So if you have reflective tint, it's obviously no. And it's dealing with the windows left and right of the driver and the windshield. Can't have anything on the windshield, and a maximum 30% light blockage. And what's the point of this? So if you can't see out, there's one for driver's view obstructed or obscured. That's one. And then, of course, the Like, there's a reason we need to see in. It's actually a really good reason. We need to see if you're wearing a seatbelt. We need to see if you're using your phone, if you have pew-pews. Now, if you are talking about civilians, why do they need to be able to see in? Well, what happens if you get involved in a collision? What if you're swerving all over the road? How are they supposed to give a description to police? And how are they supposed to have that nonverbal communication that allows them to know whether or not looking? Like, as I'm looking down and reading stuff on screen, you can see my eyes are not making eye contact. If you were a pedestrian walking in front of my vehicle, you would probably not want to walk while my eyes are down. But very clearly, when I'm looking into the camera, you know that I'm seeing you. And that's that nonverbal communication, because then I can do this. And I am forever, I do not trust drivers, because I have had too many real world experiences where drivers are just not paying attention. And I'm impressed recently by the number of people, like, and I should update that to say I'm impressed recently after having a long stint of not being impressed, because I see people coming up to the T intersection that I live near and just completely not stop. Or I put my foot out, I'm a couple steps into the intersection, and they're approaching, and they just don't stop. Like, I have a heck of a voice when I wanted to project. I have the ability of vibrating the glass on your car, and I woke them the heck up. But had it been a little person walking to school, they may have been squished, and it's very scary. So lately, I'm amazed at, like, I make eye contact, or I wait for them, and sometimes they look back and they wave, and I'm like, wow, you saw me. You're not on your phone. Just saying.
Yeah.
Ox says Street Hawk, yes. Unknown says Sean meant to be a truck driver. Really? I don't know. I've driven a truck. Not a big. I don't want to drive an articulated vehicle.
Maybe it's the vibe you're giving off is one
like
of
a trucker vibe.
Trucker vibe going.
Okay. It's not a bad thing. Oh,
just gotta own it.
And Airwolf. Did you watch Airwolf?
No, I don't believe I did.
Hold on. What's the Airwolf theme song? I need to play it. I need to hear it right now. Airwolf. Oh wait, I should do it on this. Where should I do it? Airwolf. I'll just go old school and play it on the speaker.
Definitely sounds like it's from the 80s.
I don't want to
sound like a banger.
But yeah, it puts you right. I know exactly. I see the helicopter taking off. You know, and Blue Thunder. Blue Thunder was awesome. Not for its music, but it was awesome. We got here. Oh, so as much as I banned him from for the spam, I'll put in the private chat what he wrote.
Oh my God. God, makes two of us.
Yeah. Yuck. Crystal's comeback says, Sean now looks like a DEA officer with a cool beard. With the cool beard. You know what? I am forever questioning whether or not this is too long or not long enough.
I think it's just right.
I don't know if I want to go full ZZ Top, though. I was growing the sides out because I ran into a friend of mine who's retired quite some time ago, and he looks like Cousin It. He has long white hair that comes down, and it blends into the beard. So you basically just see this like goggles of face. And I'm looking at him like, who the hell is that? And it was at a funeral. And then I'm looking at him, and eventually I'm like, oh my God.
I know that guy.
I know who that is. It was just so funny. And not funny. But anyway, I appreciate the fact that he grew his beard to the point where it's all like a straight sheet of down.
Yeah.
And then I got to that point and mine was growing out, bushy Grizzly Adams all. And I went to a beard guy and he went and trimmed this all down. I'm like, I was working on growing that. I wanted it to. Anyway, he screwed it up. It looked really good. I don't know how to deal with this beard. I
get used to it. You'll figure it out.
I've had a beard forever.
Took me a while.
I've never had a beard this long.
Yeah.
Central Alberta rail fan says, if you have a learners, can you have a third passenger as long as the person has a license in Alberta? We talked about that. Third passenger, not in the front row, you could have, I imagine. We can do that here too. You can have passengers in the back seat. There's no restriction.
Yeah. No, there's no restriction for. So the only thing for Class 7s is you can't have any more passengers than you have seatbelts.
Same deal here.
Yeah.
Ox says, can you block T-Money? Well, of course, I blocked T-Money before you asked. In the comments, Ox, T-Money, please stop. Cheryl Defoe says hello. Hello, Cheryl, if you're still here.
Hola.
Yes. Brandon says, Sean and Logan, I'm calling it a night. Sean, I'll talk to you later this morning on Friday's show. LOL. Have a good night, all. Yes, because it's not that far away from yet another episode. Let's see here. I have a dash cam and I catch someone speeding big time. Can I report it? You can report anything. Will they be able to lay charges? Not necessarily.
That's a different story.
Yeah. Although that video, do I have that video queued up still? I don't.
With the car and the shoulder?
Yeah. Maybe I do. That's very loud.
Karma is real here, though.
Well, this one.
Someone come collect this woman right now. She was swerving left and right, and I was giving her the benefit of the doubt, thinking maybe she has alignment issues. But no, she's barely looking up. She's just going right and left, right and left. Can't stay in her lane. Almost hitting a pole. Running into cars. I don't know. Get this woman off the road.
Definitely an alignment issue. That's what I would say.
That would be your professional.
That'd be my professional opinion.
I'm shocked every day that people have,
right.
That they've lived as long as they have. It's a shock that they have survived.
100%.
That is a shining example of someone who has defied the probabilities. Makes no sense. Cheryl Defoe says, question, if I have an ABZ and I want to move to Alberta or BC, will it just get transferred? So commercial motor vehicle license, we're talking an air brake endorsement, we're talking a bus and a full-on tractor trailer designation. Can they just show up and say, hey?
Yeah, so if you show up in any province for that matter, what they usually do is they try and get you to have a driver's abstract from the province you're coming from, and you would supply that with your current license, and then they would do their own check through the province to see if the training that you received is one and the same, so to speak, to our provinces. And if it is, yeah, you will literally get one for one.
I got to thank Ty, who sent a gift, and they are now the number 2 gifter badge. I'm still new to this whole gift thing, and because of the setup I have, which is awesome, I just can't see the animations, and I happened to look down, and I saw the animation for a second. So thank you very much. Kind of you. People sometimes buy us coffee, which is essentially what's happening when they're giving gifts. By no means will we get rich, but it will buy us a coffee now and again, and it is an appreciated gift. Let's see here. So back onto the whole dash cam catching it, you can make a report that might really change their next vehicle stop. That's for sure. If we get a report saying that they were doing dumb stuff at 5 a.m. on Yonge Street, and then they get pulled over, and there's a report, whatever they're doing, they get pulled over, and we pull up that car, run the license, the report that was submitted is there, and then we'll say, well, guess what? We're not giving them a break, a discount, a chance. It's no, you're going to get a ticket this time, just because. One love, what's going on? I saw the emoji for the peace symbol, and I just appreciate you. Okay. Ox says, if you have a G1 here in Ontario and then visit in Alberta, does it change the law on your license? So first off, whatever license you have, you must follow that condition for your home license. Now, it's not, and G1 is not really a license. Do you in Alberta accept Ontario G1 licenses?
So in order to be a learner driver in Alberta, you should be driving on an Alberta learner's license, because some of our rules of the road are very different than the rules of the road in Ontario. And it specifically states in the Traffic Safety Act, and even in the rule book for obtaining a learner's license, is that it has to be of Alberta. Now, have I pulled over people from Ontario with a G1 driver and a Class G passenger? Yes, I have actually done that. And it's more of an education at that point, because I know they're driving legally from their own province at that point. And some people just aren't aware that they don't know that that learner license isn't valid here. and then they normally just get the swapping of the seats. But
And that's the thing. It's an educational opportunity. It doesn't have to result in charges. But thank you for acknowledging that, because so many people don't know that the provincial learner's permit is only valid in the province that it's issued. And technically, any license that you are issued, period, is valid in your province, but there's a reciprocal agreement for the license to be accepted in other provinces or states. But that agreement doesn't apply to a learner's permit. It involves a proper license where you can drive on your own. And it's more complicated, because I've called Michigan police to say, hey, want to know what you think? And they're like, what? You mean it's not a license? Like, it's just not everybody understands, and you might pull the wool over their eyes. You know, it won't get the wool pulled over.
We're picking up what you're putting down.
You might get past avoiding $100 ticket, but when the insurance company is investigating who was driving and what license they were holding and what province or state they were in at the time, and they determined that it was a learner outside of province, I bet you dollars to donuts that they would not give you the money on a claim. Just saying. I think you'd be screwed. Jen says, "Oh look, a fellow police officer. Hello, Sean and Logan." Jen, where are you at? Where are you working?
Hello. Thanks for the promotion too. I like that.
Which one would you get promoted to? You're a staff sergeant?
No, 2 police officers.
I mean, peace officer.
No, I know.
No, Jen said peace officer. Fellow peace.
Oh, I thought she said police officer. Sorry.
No.
I get promoted all the time from that.
As you should. Great picture though. Psychotic angel. I'm following you. So I follow police back. Police and peace. It's the thing I do. That's my fiance's video, Camilo Sanchez. Camilo, sorry. I don't know where I added the extra I. We chatted about that because they reported it to Toronto Police, and I'm looking forward to that person actually getting charged. So let me know how that goes. I'd love to know. In fact, if maybe I'll just talk to my people. Is 25% purple tint illegal on side windows on a car? 25%. Well, color is irrelevant. You can have like gray is a color, orange is a color, purple is a color. It's not illegal to have purple tint. I don't know if I can handle purple tint.
Yeah.
On my eyes, I think that would be a little much. But, it's legal. You can have purple tint as long as it's the correct amount. And when you say 25%, I take that to mean 25% light blockage, meaning 75% light is the visible light is transferred through the window, the tint. If it was 35% blockage, it would be illegal, because the maximum you can be certified for on the road is 30%. More than 30%, you're an unsafe motor vehicle on the road. But 25% is like 20 to 25% is usually okay all the time. I say usually okay because it depends. If you were at night, if it was at night, or it was cloudy or crappy weather, and the copper couldn't see inside, that could be a $110 ticket. But chances are you'd be okay. Paul says,
and in Alberta, you can't have any. So
sorry, I talked right over you.
No, that's okay. I was going to say, in Alberta, we don't have any. You're not allowed to have any tints, so purple would definitely be illegal of any percentage.
That's insane. So what do you do? We talked about this before. What do you do when someone's rolling through
from another province?
Yeah, you let them go. You say warning.
Education. Education. Yeah.
Hey, if you're watching, and
you don't want to be that guy.
If you're not used to seeing us on your For You page, your feed, your nighttime, your daytime, whatever, my name is Sean Shapiro, and I host this thing called Ask a Traffic Cop, and I do it at 10 a.m. on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. But at Tuesday and Thursday nights, I join my buddy here, Logan Grant from Brooks, Alberta. And he is a PO sergeant, pissed off sergeant. No, he's a peace officer. And that is a little different than how things are done here in Ontario, because we don't have peace officers who pull over cars, but peace officers, and you're part of the city of Brooks.
Yeah, we work for the city, and we're governed by the province. But I mean, you have special constables in Ontario.
They don't pull over cars. They don't give tickets.
So I was going to say is OC Transpo, for example, they're allowed to pull over cars on the transitway because that's where their authority is. So I guess it would depend on what the authorities are of the special constables. But that's usually what we compare to. If we were to explain what we do compared to other provinces, we would be more similar to a special constable elsewhere.
And technically, special constables could have expanded powers to do things like they can direct traffic, and
it's all up to the policing agency of jurisdiction to do that.
It's just the way it's currently set up. Apparently, York Regional Police is taking applications for auxiliary officers. They posted that last Thursday. Are you suggesting I join the auxiliary police? I started my career as an auxiliary police officer. Do I end my life, not my life, but my career as an auxiliary police officer again? I don't know if I want to do that again. I mean, I do like it. Oh, are we frozen? Is TikTok frozen?
Oh, I was going to say, you're not frozen on my end.
No, TikTok looks frozen. Oh, no, we're back. It was doing the spinny thing. Okay. Cheryl Defoe says, okay, awesome. Thanks for that info.
You are welcome.
By the way, auxiliary officer is a volunteer position. It's a fantastic way to contribute to your community if you're looking for something to give back. That's awesome. Like,
yeah.
You get a uniform, you get training, you get to go out and experience what life is like in uniform, which is different, by the way. People treat you very differently when you are out there representing. You got to know everything. You're expected to. Why do I come up here and have answers? Because I've had 25 years of people saying, "Hey, do you know how to get to the CNE?" And I actually have to be able to give them that. Hey, am I allowed to park here? I'm like, I'm not a parking person, but I'm going to figure it out. You got to know everything.
Yeah,
everything.
Because they expect you to know everything.
Yes. Vinny says, "Do you find bike lane pillars a safety issue?" Well, bike lanes don't tend to have those dividers. It's these cycle tracks in the city of Toronto that have put up, stanchions and blocks, and I think they can be quite annoying. They tend to be flexible things you can drive over if you needed to, but I don't know if they're a safety issue, but I think bike lanes are a safety issue to some.
And thank God where I live, we don't have bike lanes, and I love it.
How did you avoid that?
Different breed out here, I think, Sean.
That must be it. Spider says, hey, buddy, how you doing? And I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. Riz Vision jumped in, says, I am doing comedy at Sex Swingers Club. That's Canadian showbiz for you. This is Riz Vision After Dark. You scare me. He's on a different platform tonight. That's the Riz man. And really, you're doing comedy at a swingers club? For real? Hey, whatever.
You got to make a start somewhere. Started from the bottom. Now we're here, right?
Business. You just got to break. You got to make sure you're not pulled into anything you didn't want to consent to. You're allowed to say no, Riz. You're allowed to say no. Thomas says, in Ontario, can you receive a ticket for DUI if you've been drinking but are under the legal BAC? So drinking. So okay, yes, you can. Receiving a ticket for DUI. So we arrest for driving under the influence, but there is a legal limit you must reach in order to qualify for criminal charges. So let's go through the motions, and we'll talk about the Alberta and the. First of all, it's a Canadian standard. It's criminal code. So if you are driving or found to be over the legal limit of 0.08 and above, that's a charge for over 80 or drive 80 and above alcohol in your system. Criminal across Canada. If you're talking about a provincial standard, there is 0.05 to 0.079 BAC, which is the range in which you can not be driving. However, it's not criminal. It would be a warrant or a ticket or some other charges depending on where you were at. You could be under the influence driving impaired, which is criminal based on observations. So say you could be arrested and or charged for all sorts of things, depending on what's presented to the police or the agency enforcement. What's it like for you?
Well, it's like we talked about the other day. We do have something called an IRS, an immediate roadside sanction, when it comes to impaired driving laws in Alberta. So police have the option to do it via means of a provincial offense and or a criminal offense, which, believe it or not, I know it's a bit, some people disagree with it, but at the same time, if it's your first offense, as bad as drinking and driving is, it gives the officer the ability the options, right? And an immediate roadside sanction here in Alberta might only take an officer off the road for an hour on the side of the road, where criminal charges can sometimes take a whole shift potentially to do one. So we definitely have both here, and unless there's a criminal element involved, usually they go by means of an immediate roadside sanction, which comes with it a fine right off the bat, and then a 30-day seizure depending on your class of license, and yada yada yada. So
lots of different stuff. I'm not a fan of impaired drivers. They bother me.
Nope. Yep. I make it my job at night when I work night shifts. That's what I'm out for. I'm
a magnet.
I got a nose for it.
I'm a poop magnet. I say it differently
Yeah.
when I'm not on air. But I would go out with rookies, new officers who would not be traffic qualified. I wasn't a coach officer for the road, but I would take younger officers out to teach them traffic when they came through rotation. And every night I would find an impaired driver, if not more than one. And they didn't want to ride with me anymore because it was a lot of paperwork. Lots of arrests, like the arrests. Jay wants to know what your thoughts are on 70% window tints in Alberta, but we've covered that because you can't have anything.
You can't have any tint in Alberta. Yeah.
And Jen is a probation and parole officer in Toronto. Awesome.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
That'd be a difficult job. I wouldn't want to do that. Oh, boy.
I was thinking, the first thing I thought of was, would I go back and do that? I'm always, my problem is I like to work, and I every time I hear about a cool job, I'm like, maybe I should apply for that. Miss B says, or asks, when did you retire? And I left officially at the end of August. Yes. Where can I find Bill? That's Antosh. No, Jay's asking Antosh, where can I find Bill? What are we talking about?
Who's Bill?
Do you mean the Bill, the Toronto cop who was on? I guess he's on TikTok too. He jumps in here once in a while. He in fact, he was in my class at OPC.
Small world, eh?
It's a small world after all. Okay, Cheryl Defoe says, so what if you moved there with your car from Ontario and it came with tints from the factory? First of all, no cars come with tints from the factory. Well, factory tint, there's factory tint in the back, like in the cargo area, but that's not regulated, right? Your back windows.
Yeah.
Front windows aren't tinted.
No. So if you move to Alberta from Ontario with a car that has your appropriate amount of tint for the province of Ontario, it would then become illegal in Alberta, and you would have to remove it.
If it was aftermarket, if it was baked into the glass, it was part of what was certified.
Well, that's different, right? Like we're seeing that now a lot with Mercedes and BMW and Audi, even some of the new Jeep Grand Wagoneers. They have like that green hue in the glass. On the windshield, that's in the glass, like it's embedded in the glass.
It's not a film. It's not a coating.
Yeah. But outside of that, you'd have to remove it. And we get a lot of that. Well, I bought the car like this. Like, well, that's fine. It didn't come like that, so you got to take it off.
I've seen people pulling it off at the side of the road.
Yeah. To
not get towed. Would Logan be similar to an MTO commercial enforcement officer? Paul wants to know.
I mean, our primary focus is traffic enforcement, but we don't just focus on commercial vehicle. We are essentially a small traffic unit for the city of Brooks. So, and most peace officers here in Alberta are the same. So, not only do we do municipal bylaws for our communities we're employed by, but most of our primary focuses are traffic safety and traffic enforcement. So we enforce the full Traffic Safety Act, but we also have the Gaming, Liquor, and Cannabis Act. We have Trespass of Premises Act, Petty Trespass. We have all kinds of provincial legislation. Yeah. Let's see. Whereas MTO is very specific to one thing, I believe. So,
what's the difference between road, avenue, street, and drive? Those names mean nothing to the Highway Traffic Act because all roads are highways. The naming infrastructure. I mean, I could probably look up what the difference is technically into the naming convention.
Usually, some run north and south, and the others run east and west. Is usually how it goes. So like an avenue would usually run east and west, and a road would usually run north and south. So whether it's a street, boulevard, whatever, there are specific ones for the direction that they're traveling.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I've not really looked into this, but let's see what what Jeff says about it. Road is the most generic term, usually connects two different places. Think longer stretches between towns or through areas. Can be rural or urban. Then you've got street, traditionally runs east-west in North American grid system, usually in more urban areas with businesses and homes. Yep. Streets typically interact with avenues. And then avenue traditionally runs north and south, again in grid system. Often wider than streets, may be lined with trees, may carry more traffic and be considered a bit grander. And then drive is a little more scenic, winding route. This is blowing my mind.
Yeah.
Usually found in residential or hilly areas, not necessarily part of a grid. It may meander or curve naturally. Wow.
Yep.
I never looked at this at all, ever.
Even in like your range roads and township roads in your county areas, I'm pretty sure in Ontario you guys call them range roads and township roads. It's the same thing. So like out here, range roads run one direction, township roads run the opposite direction. And that's kind of how you can determine what direction they're going.
Toronto. That's all I got to say.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know about this stuff. I use GPS outside of GTA. We talked about that. Do I need to have a G driver if I've had a G but let it expire and had to restart? Nolan, dude, if you have a G1 in your wallet, you're a G1 and you must be supervised. The fact that you once upon a time had a license but had to start again means you do not have that license. You're not being given any credit for your previous experience because they only accept experience that's within the last 3 years. So if you drove when you were 10 but now you're 20, that experience is not noted, and I don't know why they'd give anyone who's 10 years old experience or credit their experience. So yeah, you need to have a proper licensed driver beside you. Haley wants to know, when did you retire? My last day was the end of August. Archibald says, float cargo insurance is quite unknown term to the public. Float cargo insurance is even an unknown term to me. What is float cargo insurance? Are you familiar with it? I'm not an insurance broker. That doesn't mean a whole lot to me.
The insurance has their own terminology for a lot of things, but I'm pretty sure it pertains to specific loads on commercial vehicles, but I could be wrong.
Let's find out. Jeff says, an open-ended insurance policy that covers multiple shipments over a period of time instead of requiring separate policy for each shipment. But we're talking about cars. I don't see the connection. Okay.
It's very specific to commercial vehicles.
Pickles? Kosher pickles?
Oh, I love pickles.
Is that what you said?
No. But if we're on pickles, I can talk about pickled gherkins, bread and butter.
Kosher pickles. I'm like, what's going on?
No. I said commercial vehicles. That last question was pertaining specifically.
Almost the same
you know what? Same thing, right? I like a good deal. I do like a good deal.
Oh, my goodness. Okay. Ox says, hey, Logan, as a peace officer, can you also make an arrest? Do you also carry sidearms?
Great question. So I don't carry a sidearm. Some peace officers do carry shotguns in their vehicle. But yes, we have full arrest authority under the specific legislation that we enforce. The Traffic Safety Act has arrest provisions within it. But we're also peace officers under the criminal code as well. So we can still arrest people for 495 for various matters, whether it's failing to identify anything like that. So we arrest people here a lot. Suspended driving, speeding, uninsured vehicles, lying to us is we can arrest for obstruction. There's all kinds of stuff we can do. It's a pretty interesting job, and Sean can contest to this. Some of the most dangerous jobs you can do in law enforcement, some of the most dangerous calls you can go to in law enforcement are domestic violence calls and traffic stops. And we do traffic stops without a sidearm every day. Tons of them every day. So I would like to think that a lot of our peace officers in Alberta are a little bit more vigilant when we're on traffic stops, because we're trained and focused more on the small things, the little details on traffic stops. So we spend more time looking through the back window, seeing movement in the vehicle, all kinds of stuff. We know where to stand at the window, all that kind of stuff. It's easy to get complacent in law enforcement, specifically with traffic stops and how officers approach vehicles. So it's very important for us to constantly be on our game.
You got to be really switched on.
Yeah.
I am saving a video, which I am then going to put onto the screen so I can share it with you. It is a crazy video that I came across today. You thought about this whole talk about arrest made me have it reminded me. And here's the deal. It's called, there's a group called the Citizens Arrest Network. Have you seen this?
Oh God, no. Is it in favor, or is it like Cop Watch?
It is. This is too long a video, maybe. So what they did is they walked up to former executives from oil companies and said, you're under citizen's arrest. We have documents saying that you are arrestable, and just wait here for the police. To which the executives said, no, thank you, and moved on, which is good because they're clowns, and that's not how citizen's arrest works. So
yeah.
Very interesting conversation I had, and made some comments onto one of the videos that I had been watching. I don't understand how these people aren't arrested for crimes like for false imprisonment, for false arrest.
Yeah.
But they have a TikTok account.
A lot of charter violations is what it sounds like to me.
Oh, it's what a joke.
I mean, 494 is a really good piece of legislation under the criminal code. You just got to know how to use it. I mean, it's all about fines committing, and it has to be an indictable offense, and blah 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 blah. Right? You can't just, I don't know. Some people
at the same time, you're likely going to lose a few teeth. Just saying. Like, bad people being arrested don't like to be arrested, and at least as a police officer or peace officer, you have some authority beyond that of the average person. You're probably trained in the application.
We also have tools. We have all kinds of different things too, right? So, but yes, trained in the application of it.
Oh, we've got another new officer here. A new NEW, not nude. Don't go thinking that. It's After Dark.
I don't think any of us did. I think that might have been just you, Sean.
The message says, brand new OPP officer here. Just want to say, big fan of you both. Well, thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Welcome to the family.
Yeah, getting through OPC and everything. Wow. And the OPP to boot.
Well, yeah.
Very good. Very good.
The question is, did they make you go on the early morning runs? What happened? Send me a DM. I want to follow you back. And if you ever need anything for traffic stuff, I know OPP is kind of like the traffic police, but by all means, feel free to reach out anytime you need something. Yeah. If you have potholes, what is this? If I have a pothole completely bend my rim and break my bumper, is there anything I could do, or I pay?
Reach out to the municipality you live in. They sometimes, most of the time, they'll have a process in place for helping people recoup costs on damage to the vehicle if it was caused by improper road construction or degradation. But yeah, we just had enough.
Aaron Urquhart, parking enforcement from Toronto, had a pretty big bill as a result of a cracked rim due to the joy of Toronto roads, and they got paid.
'Tis the season.
Yeah. Ashton Stein, good morning, good afternoon. Where are you? What time is it there? My favorite officer, hey, Sean. How you doing, man? He was part of the original crew when we started this gig.
Nice.
Like years ago. Daniela D1 says, I seen someone doing 110 in an 80 zone. Is it worth reporting? They were passing everyone crazily. If you think that activity is dangerous, if you believe that lives are at risk, that's a 911 call. If you think it's just like, damn it, I wish I was going as fast as they were, but I'm not really concerned for anyone's safety, well, it's a you decision-making process. I can't tell you that it's a 911 call or not. It depends. I probably wouldn't call 911 because I think that happens all day long, and they'll get caught, and I know that police aren't going to get there in time unless I'm able to get a plate.
Yeah.
It's not going to be worth your time, sadly. But if you had great footage of it, I'd like to see it. I'm recording stuff all day long. What did I record today? Ooh, I have a video. I do have a video. We'll do it for Tuesday because I was with my daughter. We're driving. I just don't want to include her comments because it records audio in my car as well, and I have to remove that. But Buddy sees a couple of cars drive in the center multi-use lane to get into a driveway. And this guy decides he's going to use that to go right to the next intersection, and then ends up in the wrong side of the road because it was a concrete border. And he's like, "Oh shit!"
Oh god!
I can just imagine. I read his mind. He went, "Oh shit!" And then he got stuck there. It's like, and he's stuck there for a long time. So long.
Nobody's going to let him in.
Hit button, record it with my dash cam. Love my dash cam. Kevin, thank you very much for the gift. I saw you pop it in there. He says, hey, Sean, have you eaten anything tasty lately? Okay, so this is the truth. I went to Costco to pick up a pizza for the kids, and one of my daughters wanted a hot dog. It's the cheapest dinner I've ever paid for.
But they're good.
But I'm not eating bread. So today I got a hot dog, and then just put some mustard on it and ate the hot dog, which is not the healthiest meat source, but it was still food that I was able to have.
Did you at least cut it up and use a fork,
I physically broke it in half and ate.
Okay.
I was just saying,
and gotta be careful how you eat those.
This is true. Yes, you don't want to look attractive to Rizzy. At his club, it's suggestive. But then I got the pizza and home, and the kids were peeling the cheese off. It was was the cheese. All you're paying for on that pizza is the cheese. Like it's a lot of cheese.
It's the best pizza. I'm sorry.
It's a good pizza.
It's so good.
So they took the cheese off. I ate the cheese, and then
it was a win-win.
There was a leftover slice, and I was able to peel off the cheese topping section clean from the base. And I had like triangular cheese melt things, and I just threw some hot sauce on there, and
so good.
It was so good, so good. Let's see here. Michael wants to see the video from the Sean Cam. I'll have it ready. Actually, maybe I'll play it tomorrow morning during the live stream. Then, Dilpreet Singh says, "Hi, sir. I'm thinking of applying to TPS parking enforcement position. I have spent a bit on getting OACP certificate and medical package. I would like to get an interview at least. Can you please give some resume tips? Honest, accurate. Say what you did. Say what you want to do. Make sure your letter explains what your hopes, dreams, and goals are. Give it to somebody to review after you've completed it and take advice."
Yep.
The resumes have changed a little bit from what I understand. It's now more about the letter than it is the content of what you did. But for a policing resume, it must be very complete. There's no job you leave out. It's all part of your background check. If you leave something out, no matter how big or small,
find it.
It looks like you're trying to hide something, and that is the issue. If it's deceit, you'll be avoided. And Dill PRXT says, "I'm trying to apply to the TPS parking officer position." It's the same user on different platforms. He just
got you.
We didn't want to wait till I had you queued as next, but I happen to be looking this way. Dilpreet says, "I'm worried on getting no communications back. I ain't worried that much about physical." So I mean, just don't call them and harass them. That's the big thing. You don't make friends in the employment office by calling them to say, "Hey, are you planning on calling me today? How about now? How about now?"
There's a process, and they have to wait for closing dates and everything else, and they'll compile the best of what they see, and they go from there. So just make yours stand out.
Jen says, "I should really consider working in probation, Sean. We need more community experience." I don't know. DM me. Tell me more about the job. Jen's my new recruiter. That'd be interesting. They give you a badge and have a badge again. It'd be weird. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. But let me know. Talk to me. I'm interested to know more about the job. Are they hiring right now? Do I want a job? It's so confusing. I actually passed on a job opportunity recently, and I was second guessing my decision to pass on it because it was kind of cool. It's a cool concept, and yeah. It was an inspector role. I thought it was kind of neat.
You passed up being a white shirt, Sean?
Not inspector in the police service. It was
okay. I was gonna say
inspecting other people's stuff.
Oh, okay.
In terms of making sure people were properly licensed to do the job they were doing.
Gotcha.
I don't want to disclose the specifics of it, but it was a kind of a cool position. What is this? Paul says, "I think Ontario needs to go the route of the peace officers and free up officers for more things." Well, we do have special constables, and they are freeing them up. And the problem is we just need more officers. And special constables are a great stopgap. But what's better? More police officers. So if the only reason, why don't we just help people become police officers? If that, I don't know, would you prefer to be, if you could do it all again, Logan, would you go police officer, or is there a specific reason you don't want to be a police officer and you chose peace officer?
So I wanted to be a police officer pretty much my whole life. I was the kid growing up playing cops and robbers in the neighborhood, and I was always the cop and stuff. And I went through the RCMP application, got right to the end, had a date to go to depot, and then had the wool pulled over my eyes for something I disclosed 5 times throughout the process. And then I got deferred, moved out to Alberta, got a job out here. And then, the goal was to still go back and reapply, but not to get a little real here, but when I had my first son, I had some mental health problems come about, and I got diagnosed with PTSD. And just recently, I had a moment where it was one of those, this definitely isn't for me scenarios anymore. I was around a situation where someone was being charged with certain crimes to
I hear that.
younger people, and it was definitely it was good to be around it, because it definitely solidified to me that that's no longer something I want to be around mentally.
Mhm.
So I take medication for my mental health problems every day. So I mean, I always want to be a traffic cop anyway. So I'm doing that now.
You're living the dream
So
without
I'm
the
I'm
exposure
doing
to
what
the
I'm
stuff.
doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean I don't have to do as much of the paperwork. You know, I can go to a collision, help out, and then I can leave. If I get a good impaired, I can have all the fun stuff and then leave the police to do all the paperwork. Like
So first of all, I gotta say thank you
Yeah.
for sharing that. I wasn't aware of that. I don't think we've ever spoken about that before. I've spoken, like, first of all, police officers, people in roles like ours, see stuff that nobody else is going to see, and we see it
Yeah.
regularly and throughout our careers. And whether it's one specific event that creates an injury or a syndrome, or if it's the cumulative of many exposures of smaller things, and then you never know which one just tips the scales, and now you're having issues. Like, I got hit by a car when I was on the motorcycle unit.
Yeah.
I started having some things that were going on for me, and now I don't like small spaces. I don't like
Yeah.
like there's things that have changed for me, and have I developed some anxiety about certain things? I didn't really think about it. And then when I retired, I started having these experiences where I'm now feeling things differently. I don't know. I'm alone
Yep.
with my thoughts more, and it is a thing. And here's the deal: these are all real things that people experience, and if you can't relate to it, it's because you're not there. And I can totally relate to it. So I appreciate you
Yeah.
sharing it.
Yeah,
There's
no
a
worries.
stigma around mental health.
Oh yeah.
And it's work. And like, I talk to people now. I actually decided to speak to a therapist because a friend of mine got murdered at work. And feelings are big. And if you don't address them, if you don't talk about them, they can become worse, bigger issues. So
Yeah,
I
and
commend you
my
for
biggest
doing it.
my biggest problem was the fact that it took a lot of stuff to happen in my personal life with my wife and my son at the time for my wife to look at me and say it's either us or you.
Mhm.
So then I reached out to a therapist, and thank God I found a therapist who was a retired police officer. And I think I hit
you're
the
lucky.
money there because I could talk and say things to her that she was just like, yep, been there, done that. This is how you know what I mean? So, and honestly, she's the one who recommended medication. Medication's not for everybody, but for me, it definitely gets rid of the nightmares, gets rid of all the intrusive thoughts, gets rid of all that kind of stuff. I mean, it's not perfect by any stretch, but
No.
it makes things livable.
It's
I
amazing
can
how
be on a baseline.
policing is in my brain all the time. Like, I go to sleep.
Yeah,
and I
it's
think
hard
of
to
police,
switch
and I have
off, isn't it?
dreams, But I have
Yeah.
dreams about being at the police station. I still,
Yeah.
like, it's so involved in my
Yeah.
life. Not in a bad way. It's just that it's
Yep.
there. And I was talking to my friend with the beard that looked like Cousin Ed.
Yeah,
And
it.
he
Yeah,
was telling
yeah.
me, like, he's been retired 15 years and he still can't shake it. So
Yeah.
it's part of what it is. And for the people who don't appreciate that, what police officers and first responders do, they're really giving of themselves, and that giving doesn't stop when they retire. It's still part of the stuff they carry, the baggage.
Yeah.
Akil says, thanks for hosting Q&As to help communities learn more about different roles of peace officers. I mean, the goal is traffic safety, but we in turn talk about all sorts of things.
Yeah.
And he says, also nice to see you continue to be active on here, Sean. Hope you're enjoying retirement. I'm loving it, but I also miss the work that gave me all the stuff that's in my head. So it's funny. Notification says, hey, officers, with a salute. Let's see here. Sharif Babak says, someone got a ticket for not having proof of insurance, $110, but the car was not insured. What will be the consequences? So first of all, not surrendering proof of insurance in the province of Ontario is a $65 ticket. I don't know why they got a $110 ticket. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me unless they're
We
in a different
murder you
province.
guys on that one.
What do you?
We're $243 if
for
you
not
fail
having
to
a
show.
slip?
Even if you have it and it's expired, or you
Really?
or don't have it at all, yeah, it's 243. And then if we can prove that you don't have insurance, then it's $3,000 minimum court appearance, and
In Ontario,
30 days in jail in lieu.
we have 3 years to lay the charge. So if this friend of yours got a ticket for not having proof, but then the officer does their due diligence and does the lookup, and that's what I used to do at court. I'd go through all my failed to surrender proof. I'd get all the information, and then I would call the company, verify the status. And then when I found out they didn't have insurance, I'd go knock on their door and lay a charge, a 104, Part 3, which is a summons to appear in court, where they have to go now explain. Whereas, what's the story? Because we would get records, verified records, that they didn't have insurance on that day. They'd call the insurance company. They're only too happy to show up. And it's $5,000 to $25,000 and up to 6 months in jail on the first offense. in Ontario.
Crazy, eh? Yeah.
Love it. Lovely.
We actually we got a hold of a phone number that we can call Monday to Friday, 8 to 5. And it's for a company in BC, and it's the Insurance Bureau of Canada. And it's one lady that works there all the time. And we just give her the VIN, and it doesn't matter. Across Canada, she'll tell us if the car is insured. So sometimes waiting on hold for insurance companies can be a real pain. So
Michael's requesting a CMV, commercial motor vehicle inspector from MTO TSV, or retired. So here's the funny thing. My old partner in the motor squad, I won't say his name, but he's awesome. He's a powerful guy. I'm trying to convince him to come on and talk. And he was he was a commercial motor vehicle inspector. He was an MTO officer before he was a police officer, and he's just an amazing guy. And if he's willing to be on camera, I think he'd really be able to help you guys out with answering all sorts of questions. And at very least, maybe I'll get him in the Telegram group so he can anonymously answer your questions, Michael. Kevin doesn't trust the OPP ever since they detained him, mistaking him for somebody else. It happens occasionally. The wrong person, or the same name, same date of birth, different planet. It happens.
Even if you just match the description to a T, sometimes it happens. I mean, yeah,
for sure. Sean worked with Randall Arsenal. I never worked with him. We were at the police service at the same time. He and I are friendly. We've talked. We've discussed collaborating. He does. We haven't been able to connect recently, but
his good buddy PC Pappy, he's on the traffic unit now, eh?
He is now in the enforcement unit. He's part of Vision Zero enforcement team. Yeah. What is this? Robbie G says, back in the day, I got tickets for having white corner lights, not amber. Yeah, that can't project anything other than amber or white to the front. What's this? Max says, I absolutely 100% respect you for opening up about your mental health, Logan. We are all human.
I appreciate
that. Bernhard 22 says, thanks for being honest, Logan. Says a lot about who you truly are. Class act.
I wouldn't
Mr.
go that
Follower
far, but I appreciate it.
Says, I just got my G1. Any tips for learning to drive? Take it slow. I don't mean speed. I mean, it's like, take it easy. You're not going to learn to drive it one.
And have a good supervisor, Japes.
Yeah, don't. If dad's a speed demon, don't use him as an example.
Use someone else.
If mom can't drive, get a teacher, a professional instructor. That's the biggest thing. Tyson got in a hit and run, and the guy ran off. Was I supposed to chase him down? What's he driving? Recklessly. Oh, he was driving hopefully you got a plate. Hopefully you had a
don't be chasing him down.
Chasing bad, because you can escalate matters. You know who that is. If they're willing to run, there might be a reason. They might have a pew. They might be wanted. That's a reason, right?
The thing is, normal people don't run. In our experience, and I don't know if I can speak for you, Sean, when people take off on me, there's a reason. They're either impaired, they have warrants, they're suspended. Oh, yeah. There are so many. They may have drugs in the car. Yeah, it's not worth trying to chase someone down for it. Like, Sean, get a plate, carry on.
And even if you don't get a plate, your vehicle is insured. That's why you have insurance. Yeah. Very often, regardless of the hit and run status, we can determine the causation of the collision, the metrics that took place, what the hell am I? There's a word I'm looking for. Chain of events. We can figure it out. We can see that one person came into your lane. We can figure it out with what's on the road, where the initial impact took place, where the debris field was.
Road evidence can tell you a lot.
Yes. It's good stuff. So, I mean, your safety is always first. If you don't have a dash cam, get a dash cam. In fact, I'm going to have links to dash cams you can buy for reasonable prices on the descriptions of videos. I'm trying to put together a list of stuff that I endorse and put Amazon links on there, because I've been approved as an associate referral guy. So you can buy from that list you can buy from wherever you want. But if you buy from that list, then they'll give us a commission of sorts. Not a big commission, mind you. I was shocked. There's people who are making real big money doing this. It's like 2%, 3%, depending on the product. 10% on toothpaste. I found that out.
Oh, God.
Interesting stuff. Okay.
It's probably 75% in England.
Yeah, really. If you clock someone speeding and they pull over themselves over to apologize, would you still ticket them? That's from Jem Lou. And the answer is speeding is speeding. Maybe they get a reduction, but I'm still laying charges.
Who is it from?
From Jem Lou 21. Is that someone
Okay.
you gave a ticket to earlier and gave them a break?
No, I think that's my wife.
You think? Wait, you think it's your wife?
Well, she usually goes by Gem Lou, so I don't know.
Oh,
Probably.
then it's a pretty good chance.
Yeah.
And a green dress is the profile icon.
Yep, that's the wife.
That's your wife. Okay.
At least she's watching. Normally she doesn't. She's too embarrassed by me.
Really?
But yeah, but I have done it. Like I've whipped around, and the person knows I'm pulling them over, and they'll pull over right away. And there's usually a thank you, and a lot of times you get to the window. If they've already pulled over, they're already going to be like, "Yeah, you got me," whatever. And to be honest with you, that's where discretion comes in. And I've given people warnings based on that.
Absolutely.
Because I don't get that very often. Usually I have the finger pointing at me, call me everything under the sun. So I have no problem using my discretion to not charge someone.
It all depends. Not every interaction has to result in charges.
Yeah.
If they've taken responsibility. But here's the difference. If they're taking responsibility and it's authentic, as opposed to,
blowing smoke up your
that's the
ass.
act that they put on because they want to get a break.
I mean, sometimes I'll like pull my shirt down, show the sprouts, whatever.
Oh, yeah. You got to show off that chest.
I mean, yeah.
To
It
get
works
under those
sometimes.
stickers.
Yeah.
Show them a little leg. I understand. Ashishbi says, can you drive your parents' car but not under their insurance but have my full G? How does that work? If you're borrowing your parents' car but you don't live with them, then you can occasionally, once in a while, borrow a car generally accepted by your insurance company, their insurance company, actually. You need to make sure it's okay with them and how they handle their policies. But in terms of policing, it's not a problem.
As long as it has insurance, that's all we care about.
It has to be insured. But again, they may have a policy saying, Ashish may not drive the car. Specifically, we don't like you, Ashish. That's why.
Yeah.
Like whatever that it could be the thing. Now, in the event that you don't live with them, it could be okay. But if you live with them, almost every insurance company is going to want you on the policy. You can't just keep borrowing the car. You have to be an occasional driver. And if they had 3 cars and you're the 3rd driver in that house, the insurance companies will say you need to be fully insured on one of those vehicles. They won't allow 3 vehicles with 3 drivers and only paying a reduced price for the one vehicle that would never get ridden otherwise or driven otherwise. Off the first day of training as a community support officer this Monday. Any advice? Bernhard, congratulations. You had many years working in the family business. You've stepped out to become a law enforcement officer, first responder. Community support officer is a role that is new to me, but I know you're doing good stuff in the community. The big thing is be open to learning. Listen, and don't talk. My biggest problem was I came from an experienced role and I talked too much, and then I offended people because I was talking.
Sir Robert Peel said it best: the public are the police, police are the public. Right? You can't have one without the other. So, like you said, listen, engage. You'll be fine.
Herbert Brown has come back a second time. Well, I just blocked him, but he says, buddy, who even cares what you say? Buddy, we're not going to listen to a bunch of cops. Okay, Herb, have a nice life.
Bye.
I don't understand why people come here to engage with cops or ex-cops. Whatever.
We relish. Come on, it's good.
Why even troll? Not even good. Like not even good trolling.
But it's helping your viewing. If they're sitting here for like 5 minutes watching you, it helps.
Should I unfollow? Should I unblock him?
No, you do you, man. But if he's watching, that's good. Helps with the analytics.
Yeah, really. Usually that's what I say. But I just he's two lives in a row to say the same thing. He's not even being original. If he was original the second time, I wouldn't have blocked him. Alex May says, am I required to show my own insurance if I'm driving my parents' insured vehicle? You need to show proof of insurance. You need to show their proof of insurance for their vehicle. But if you showed your insurance because you couldn't find theirs, that's actually suffice. That covers it. Is it the same in Alberta?
We get a lot of these insurance questions even here in Alberta. And it comes down to the fact that all we care about is the car is insured. If that car on the road is insured at the time that we stop you, that's all we care. What your policy says, all the little caveats that could be attached to your policy, that has nothing primarily to do with us. Our primary concern is to ensure that the vehicle on the road is insured. Everything behind the scenes, that's something that you as the driver would have to deal with in the event of a collision, and hope to God that doesn't happen. But you best hope that you're operating within the confines of your policy, because the last thing you want to do is have a civil issue where no one's covering your insurance and you're going to be up Schitt's Creek without a paddle. So
Kev and Peace both said, or sorry, P said you missed my question or you didn't answer it. It didn't come through. So whatever you said got flagged by TikTok and it never got seen by me. And Kev, if you're in the same situation, I didn't see your question. Thus I couldn't answer it. If you want to try it on a different platform, come over to the YouTube, come over to X, come over to LinkedIn, come over to Instagram. They have lighter or less sensitive automatic stuff.
Would you argue to say? Sorry, continue. Go.
I was just saying that I really appreciate TikTok trying to keep the community safe by having these strict things, but it does sometimes you like I tried to respond to somebody asking about firearms questions and it flagged it as inappropriate and wouldn't let me even send my answer to their question. So they were very strict trying to keep the community safe, but it does get annoying sometimes.
Well, I was going to ask, like, what do you think out of all the platforms that you utilize? Would you say that YouTube is probably the least problematic for flagging? Based on some of the content I've seen on YouTube, you would think that they would be the least problematic, or even X.
Well, here's the thing. There's fewer people watching us on those. So when my largest audience is on TikTok, I just want them to be able to get through.
Engage.
So I appreciate and as much the 99% get through. It's just that there's a lot of stuff that's done. Ashish, did we not complete? You sent the question mark. Did you not hear the answer that we gave, or there's questions that you have about the answer we gave? But we did answer your question. While operating a vehicle, going back to your question, can you drive your parents' car but not under their insurance? But how does that work? While operating a vehicle. Well, we answered the question. You can drive your parents' car. You don't have to be on their insurance. As long as you don't live with them, it's not a problem, really. As an occasional once-in-a-blue moon driver, most insurance policies will cover you. Yeah. However, if you're going to drive it regularly, or if you live with them, you must be insured. Oh, we don't have another question from you. It obviously got flagged. I don't know why. That's 3 questions and 3 people now saying that they asked a question, but I don't see it. No, there's a whole bunch of that's now the 3rd person who's been flagged and not. So I don't know why it's not coming through. And he says, wow. Why does it keep showing Canada elections on here, Kevin? It's because we've said something to flag it. We've said, I don't know when. Maybe I said firearms. I don't know. Firearms is a big contentious issue about the current election. And it's probably...
Yeah, I was going to say, you've only just said firearms once. Well, now 3 times with me saying it.
Firearms.
Oh, my God.
So, pew, pew. I don't know why it's flagged, but if you... Why are you seeing it? Do you see it? I don't see it. If you were to go on another platform, if it wasn't for the fact that we've been talking for an hour and 47 minutes, and I said, for certain, I would not stay up late tonight because I want to watch the last episode of
1823.
Is that on tonight?
Oh, I don't know. Is it or 1923?
Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
No, what I want to watch is
Reacher. It's Thursday. Yep. Good thing you said that because I would have missed it tonight.
Ox says, you're live on YouTube now? Absolutely. I am live on YouTube, LinkedIn, X.com, Instagram, and TikTok. We do it all. All of the live streams are all simultaneous right now. And he says, where else do you love right now? I love everywhere. No, I am live. I already answered the question before you asked it. Yeah. So weird stuff. But I see actually the Get Info on Canada's federal election now. On my my other account, which I'm watching with. Oh, so if Doge was in Canada, this show would be shut down pronto. Papa Putz, listen, I'm not a cop anymore. I'm not getting paid. What the?
Jeez.
What don't you understand? Do you not read? Read it.
No.
It says former police officer. It doesn't mean that I became like the chief administrating officer of the police. It means I retired, you schmuck. He keeps bringing this stuff. I just don't understand you. Read it. Yeah. Read. Sorry, I lost my cool.
No, it was good. You should do it. That was good. I enjoyed it.
You know what? It's for my mental health.
You got to let it go.
I got to let loose sometimes. When someone is such a jackass that they keep coming in here and saying stupid, this is like not the first time you've had the same comment. My God. Now, I will also say that while I am not a police officer anymore and I can say stuff like that, Logan, who is a fine, upstanding officer in Alberta, is off duty and is not being paid. Thus, it would not be shut down. But thank you, Papa Uniform, whatever your name is.
And I still don't really hold my tongue even when I'm off duty, so it is what it is.
And Bernhardt says, let's get Sean to 1,000 members on YouTube to help the cause. You know what? I've gotten up to 530, I think. So I put up a video. It's had almost 200,000 views. And of course, people want to get this G1 course that I'm doing.
Yep.
And I've been reading the driver. Oh my God, it's so dry, the first chapter. I'm reading the G1, the driver's handbook, so that people can get through it. And some people are having issues. I've been hearing from a lot of people with dyslexia saying they just can't seem to sit down and read it. So
Yep.
I'm helping out and giving some commentary as well. So there you go. Let's see here. We've got, Alex May says, ooh, yeah, Reacher. How you liking it? I'm waiting for the last episode also. So I'm loving it. And I'm so conflicted
episode tonight.
I really like the series. I read all the books. I like the Reacher character. I like this actor. Alan Richter is a phenomenal Reacher.
Mm-hmm.
But it pisses me off that he's anti-police. He's a bipolar guy. He must have had some bad experiences, but it really bothers me that he so openly is anti-police.
But
I think in
think
Toronto, I invited him to the studio. I obviously didn't get a response.
But it always takes one bad experience for people to hate us, right? And it's unfortunate because we're not all bad. I know bad ones, and I've reported bad ones, and I've worked with bad ones, but we're not all
I wonder
bad.
if Papa Uniform November, had a bad one, or maybe it's his ex-girlfriend, but somebody did something to Papa Uniform.
He wasn't hugged enough when he was a child, probably, or something.
IMO says is asking everyone to tap. I appreciate it. We're going to shut down the live because we've been doing 3 hours consistently, and this
we got
tonight for sure an hour, but it's 2 hours, isn't it? Let's see here. Oh, Ox is going to be he's going to add one to the YouTube channel. If you go, actually, I've got a direct link in my bio to the YouTube channel, but you can also go to trafficcop.ca and you can go and get links to all of my social media. And there's even a specific link. I tested it, so you can go direct to the folder for the G1 or the driver's handbook course. And Alex May wants to know if I like the Tom Cruise Reacher more than the current Reacher. No, Tom Cruise, the movie was okay as a standalone, but he's not.
Both movies were. Reacher. Well, they did two Tom Cruise ones. But
they're okay. But the deal is that the original, the books. I've read the books, and this character, he I would say that he's autistic. Like Reacher is. He might be autistic. There's a lot of conversation that his character may be autistic, and he's so good. Like he's brilliant, and the way he handles certain pieces of information, he just has quirks with his behavior that makes him, come off as different. He's so black and white. He's rules oriented. It's well done. And again, I give credit to Alan, the actor who plays him. He's phenomenal. I don't know. It bugs me that he hates police because I obviously don't hate police. In fact, I'm the big fan of police, regardless of the fact that I was one. I wanted to become one because I was a big fan of police.
Yeah.
Max says, Logan, you are very knowledgeable in the laws. Any tips? Tips for what though, Mac? Specifically, is there a specific one? And Ox is moving over to the other platform. And Faisal Rahman just came in here. DM, looking forward to your response. Gotcha. Okay. We don't have dad jokes today. Anybody with dad jokes? Or do we write a song again?
The song was pretty cool. I will say.
I sent you all the songs, right?
Oh yeah. But I think that's kind of becoming this after hour thing. That's your instead of the dad jokes, it's the song. It's the AI song. Get people to give you an idea and create something.
Let's create a song then. Last time we did a song about Alberta beef. Which we can play the Alberta beef song right now. But we need another song.
What was was there a primary theme of our show tonight? Can you think of? We talked about a lot of things, but was there one thing other than bad drivers?
Which would be the theme? Maybe we make one about that horrible driver who was on the cell phone on the Don Valley Parkway.
Yeah, I like that. Stupid distracted drivers.
Stupid distracted. Is it a song about all the offenses? Did we talk about a whole bunch of different offenses? Okay, for everyone who is on the live stream right now, we're looking for baby vision care. What's going on? That's where I buy my eyeglasses and go to the
From
doctor.
baby vision care.
Baby,
I
baby.
I
Baby
thought you
vision
said
care.
baby. I was like,
Yeah,
I know you
best-
look a
best place
little
ever.
babyish, but
Okay, we need a theme for a song. We need a style for the music. I thought about making a bad rap or a rap for bad drivers.
yeah.
You know, maybe we need a rap for reading the driver's handbook.
A little off. I'm glad you do the reading of the handbook.
It's a new thing.
I actually offer, and I have provided a Class 7 learners course that we've developed here in Brooks that we go to high schools and actually teach the kids who are going to get their Class 7s. But yeah, we got a little feedback from it because some of the driving people were pissed that we were taking away some of their money because you got to
I had
pay
a couple
for it.
people say that the same thing.
But
to
you
me.
know what? Who cares? Education
not
is education.
teaching
And my
drivers
primary
education
focus,
course.
well, no, but your primary focus is to have better drivers on the road. So
Yeah,
however we need to get to that point, who cares? I don't care.
Okay, I'm looking for anyone. Miami Vice theme when they're driving at night. We need. I need more like a country song, a rock song, a style.
Oh,
of
but
music
no,
that
that
I
would
need.
be pretty cool. Like an 80s electric, you know, The Weeknd,
Okay.
the artist The Weeknd. He has that song Blinding Lights, and it's got that real 80s like vibe to it. Oh, yeah, that'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty sick.
Okay, so we're gonna say
If you know what I'm talking about.
we're gonna try something here. Write me a song about the Ontario Driver's Handbook and how it's different. Keyboard style, bruv says.
Yeah.
Different
Like
than-
the it's like an electronic keyboard or something. I think this guy's picking up what I'm putting down, but yeah.
Yeah.
I'm getting into the twang in the background there. I like it.
I can't zoom this out. Okay, so handbook reading how it's different than the 80s when we had a 365. Now we're into graduated licensing. Just trying to figure this out. Licensing and it takes years. Talk about the rules of the road that nobody seems to understand in a good way. Make it humorous. We want it funny or we want it serious?
Let's do serious. Didn't we do a humorous one yesterday or
I guess
last?
so. The
Tuesday?
Alberta steak one.
Yeah. Let's do a
make it,
serious one.
Make it in an 80s style.
While you're doing that, how do we make a tissue dance? I'm gonna put a little boogie in it. Huh? No. Okay. I didn't even get the
That's a bad joke.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was pretty bad.
I'm looking for any. Oh, wait. We got questions in another window here. Make it with keyboard style. Oh, Mia says hi. Keyboard guitar from Revenge of the Needs. Serious vibe. Does a 16-foot truck need to stop at truck weigh stations on a highway? I don't believe that it does. I'm not a motor vehicle inspection guy, but I don't think I've driven 24-foot trucks and I've never had to.
It all depends on what you're hauling and what your gross vehicle weight is for that vehicle. Like if I'm pulling I have a Dodge Ram and I pull a 32-foot trailer, I don't need to stop at the weigh inspections unless they're doing something with like kayaks and like mussels, that kind of stuff. But if you're driving like a 3,500 truck with a gooseneck trailer and you have a GVRW, then yes, you would need to stop at the weigh station to be checked.
And tires, just because I was talking tires recently, That is, people don't understand when you start loading stuff up how it changes the tires.
Yeah, absolutely. Your
What it is.
your sidewalls will actually have a load rating on them for what they can take. So, got to be very careful.
He wants to know about. He means a 16-foot box truck. Sorry, but again, that's a 16-foot truck. And Logan's saying depends on what you're hauling, and depends on what your rated vehicle weight is. Is that where you're going?
Yeah, depending on what your gross vehicle weight is. And at the end of the day, if the lights are flashing, just pull in. If they don't want to see it, just keep going. It's better than to drive by. And if it's a staffed weigh station and then you get pulled over because you didn't go through, you're just better to go through.
Okay, are we ready for this first song? They got two versions. Let's see what we think.
Back in the day, it was 3-6 feet. Flash that paper, you were ready to drive. A quick eye test and a wink at the clerk. Grab the keys, hit the street, time to go to work. Didn't need no apps, no G1 phase. Just you and the car in a learning craze. Radio on, windows down with flare. Nobody told us what a shoulder check was, didn't care. But times have changed, now it's a climb. You gotta read the book.
It's pretty good, actually, you know?
Rules got deeper, roads got packed. No more coasting through, better know the facts. Oh Lord, read the book, it's the driver's code. These are the rules of the road. It ain't the 80s, gotta earn your way. From G1 to G2, no more joyride days. Read the signs, watch the lights. Signal your turns and yield the right. Yeah, the road's a test, not a game show. So crack that handbook and take it slow.
It's not bad.
No, it really isn't.
Now we got crosswalks with flashing beams, turning on red only when the coast is clean. School zone sneak up, speed cameras blink. Distracted driving, that'll cost more than you think. Zipper merge, most don't have a clue. Left lane hogs, yeah, I'm talking to you. Cyclist buffer, roundabout rules. Read that handbook, stop driving like fools. You can't just wing it like back in the day. There's more at stake when you drive that way. Knowledge is power and safety's the goal. So study that book before you roll. Read the book, it's the driver's code. These are the rules of the road. Graduated game, gotta pass each stage. Respect the wheel, don't drive in a rage. Eyes on the signs, don't race the light. Use your mirrors and keep things tight. Yeah, the road's a system, not a solo show. So read that handbook before you go.
So that's version.
Yeah.
That's version 1. It was also this version. I don't know if this is more 80s.
Back in the day, it was 3-6 fave. Flash that paper, you were ready to drive. A quick eye test and a wink at the clerk. Grab the keys, hit the street, time to go to work. Didn't need no apps, no G1 phase. Just you in the car in a learning craze. Radio on, windows down with flare. Nobody told us what.
It sounds more like that country pop that's out, eh?
What's that?
Sounds like country pop, if that makes sense.
It's not. I don't know.
Yeah. The first one, way better. Way better.
Okay.
You could like bounce to it. You know what I mean? You could kind of get into the vibe a bit.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of like I'm still. Are you? Oh, Julie wants to know if I'm still a police officer. My dad was a police officer. I am not. I have left the job after just under 25 years of service. Best 25 years by far, but it is the it was time to make a change. And now you, sir, are still working for a service out there making a change in your own special way.
Yeah, that's for sure. Special, that's for sure.
Important stuff you're doing.
Yep.
Oh, okay. In the air tonight for Miami Vice, which was actually the heck's his name?
Phil Collins.
Phil Collins.
Yeah.
It's like I can see his face. I just recently saw a
Yeah.
video of him walking into the room with his old drum set. He's not doing real well.
I was going to say he doesn't walk anymore. He's in a wheelchair, but he just did a concert in his wheelchair, jamming out. That was amazing. Yeah. Whether it be him or Genesis, either way, man. Yeah. Love Phil Collins.
Natasha wants to know if a cop is allowed to pull me over if the car. What? Is a cop allowed to pull me over if my car is the most stolen car in Ontario? Yeah.
Are you driving a Ford
If
F-250?
he's concerned that your car might have been stolen, he's investigating you to find out if you are lawfully in possession of that car. My God, yeah, that's a good reason to pull someone over, to verify that it's not stolen. So yeah, they can pull you over to find out if you're licensed, insured, drunk, all that stuff. TV Gotcha says, or wants to know, he wants to know if it was legal to go 60 and an 80. So how much slower than the flow of traffic must you be going in order to be unnecessarily slowly driving or impeding traffic?
Impeding
20
traffic,
under
yeah.
isn't enough for me to lay a charge anyway.
Yeah. See, we would look at it based on the flow of traffic. Are you backing people up?
But if it's multiple lanes and they can go
especially
around.
I guess if you're on like the 401 or whatever, the big lanes out by you guys, I mean, that's probably not a problem here, but where we are, you'd stack things up pretty quick.
And they should just slow down.
Yeah.
Well, actually, the thing is, the speed limit is the limit, not the maximum, or not the minimum, I should say. So it all depends.
And we've talked about this before. I don't give Quebec a lot of credit, but where I do give them credit is definitely with their speed signs, is that they have a maximum and a minimum.
I like that. So
and
in some
like the
provinces,
minimum.
it might be an issue.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Aaron Gamer says, hello, Aaron Gamer.
Hello.
And then dad joke. We have a couple of dad jokes, which I'll entertain, and then we're going to wrap it.
Yes.
Dad joke. Why do golfers bring extra socks? In case they get a hole in one.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's pretty good. That's from Michael. There's another one from Michael. Dad joke. I don't trust those trees. They seem kind of shady.
Oh, I like me some shady trees because I'm a ginger.
Yes. Thank you, Michael, for the dad jokes. We have Prathrikesh. I don't know if I pronounced your name right. If I did, great. If I didn't, I'm sorry. It says, nice hat, Sean. Yes, this is me. This is the me hat, voiceover cop. And although this is Rev 1, I have to redo it because Rev 1 has a slightly shorter.
It looks good nonetheless.
I like it, but then my kids said, Dad, it doesn't look like you. And I said, what do you mean? And they said, well, am I going to be able to show this to you? There. Oh, I gotta move you for a second. So, no.
Oh, hey, full party. Oh, darn.
The wrong button.
Gonna have the siesta here in a minute.
Here we go. We'll move you here. We'll make you smaller. Okay. So that is the new version. So slightly taller forehead, which oddly enough, to figure out the metrics, I actually overlaid that sticker over my face. And then,
oh, nice.
So that's like scale.
Yeah.
It is scaled to my facial stuff. You could probably open.
You got a big dome, Sean. You got a big dome. So,
but it was a fun project. I like I said, I was doing this to make 1,000 stickers to give away, and I gave them away. They are no.
That's
actually,
good.
no, I still have some. In fact, if you need stickers, if you want stickers, let me know. I have stickers.
So, if spring showers bring Mayflowers, what do Mayflowers bring? Pilgrims. Huh?
You got to know your history for that one.
Yeah.
Monica says, I'm going for my G1, but can never understand how demerit points work. Demerit points are pretty simple. Depending on the ticket, you get issued demerit points. When you accumulate too many demerit points, you lose your license. As a learner, fewer demerit points cost you more. Like if you get a ticket with 4 demerit points, you get a 30-day suspension while you're a learner. So it's all there. And Caitlin jumped in with a question. As a 20-year-old G2 driver, how many passengers under 19 am I allowed to have in the vehicle? I just read this again, and I'll read it to you verbatim. It's going to be in the first course that goes out tomorrow.
So while you're looking for that, in Alberta, you just have to have as many seatbelts as you do passengers, even on a 5 GDL. Yeah.
So it says here, where is it? It says it here somewhere. It's a different layout than I was looking at earlier. In any case, in the first 6 months, if you're 19 or under 19, the first 6 months you can have up to between midnight and 5 a.m. You can't have more than 1 passenger under the age of 20. unless they're immediate family.
Yeah.
Or you're being accompanied by a fully licensed driver. I actually learned that today.
Oh, good.
Like, I couldn't believe it. It was something I didn't know that I now know.
And then just to quickly backtrack, same here as it comes to with demerit points. So specifically, if you have a learner's permit here, class 7, and you accumulate 8 points, your license is suspended for 1 month, and then you have to start your probation period over again for another year. And then when you go to your class 5 GDL, you maintain the 8 points, and you only go up to 16 points when you get a full 5. So I don't know what that points are like with you guys.
It's about the same thing. But points don't matter to insurance.
No.
Mr. Steak just came back and says, "You guys still kicking it?" No, we're not here.
Yeah.
So here it is verbatim from the book. In the first 6 months after receiving your G2 license, you're allowed to carry only one passenger, age 19 or under, which is what I say, under 20. After 6 months with your G2 license and until you obtain your full G license or turn 20, you are allowed to carry up to 3 passengers under 20. And that applies to G2 drivers 19 and under. So if you are 20, it doesn't apply to you because it's a temporary condition.
Very cool.
Yes, we are wrapping this show up.
Yes.
TV Gotcha's watching The Rookie. I love that show, and I didn't realize new episodes came out. So if you're talking about new episodes, apparently I need to go find those. But it has been a slice, and it always is great to hang out at that night. We do this Tuesdays and Thursdays, this nighttime thing, and it's totally a lot of fun. So I appreciate you, Logan. Thanks for popping in for spending time.
Always a pleasure, never a chore.
For lighting your face.
Yes.
You've been sitting in the dark this time.
For better, for worse.
Yes. So what did you end up buying?
Oh, it's just one of my wife's Cricut lamps.
The one you talked about.
Yeah. They're great, dimmable, different color patterns. Yeah. So
you can make it flash red and blue. No. Oh, interesting. Okay. Tomorrow morning, 10 a.m., I'll be back here doing this again for only an hour. Just like I only did an hour today, but except the time flew and it became 2 hours.
As usual.
Not 3 hours, though. And if I don't stop talking, it will be 3 hours.
It will be 3 hours quick.
Drive safe, drive sober, have a wonderful night, smile. It really looks good on you. And if you're going to park legally, because we have parking enforcement officers and it hurts their feelings. I guess it's an outro song. We need better outro music. Maybe it's the 80s song we just created. Anyway, we'll figure it out. Yeah, have a great night. Be safe out there. Logan, we'll talk soon.
Take care, buddy. Take care, everybody.